Ooh, new box. Wonder what's inside. Well, I bet you don't. You've clicked on this link anyway, so you know exactly what's inside before I do. Hi guys, Retro Trek Ralph here with another Star Trek, the official Starship collection, Eaglemoss ship and, well, Starship, but station review and magazine. A little bit of silliness at the beginning there, but I've just cut my finger on the bloody box anyway, but hey ho, fine. This one is a Regula 1 station, as seen in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, or Earth Space Dock, as seen in Star Trek 1, the motion picture. Okay, you can see where this video is going, can't you? Right, I'm going to get this open and we'll start this video. I'm going to put a plaster on my finger anyway, so be careful of cardboard. Especially these times with the COVID, yes. Now, it's been a while since my last official Starships review, so I'm looking forward to this. This has been really delayed. It was supposed to be the beginning of this, beginning of October. Put back. You never know when these are going to come now, because the kind of, yeah, it's nice to see them again, and I do kind of miss getting the Regula ones every 2 weeks or every month or whenever it was, but yeah, it's nice they show up eventually. So for usual Eaglemoss reviews, we're going to put this one aside for a second for a big reason. So let's get that down, let's get into the magazine and have a look and see what we have. Right, Regula 1 station. This is where Carol Marcus and David Marcus made the experiments for the Genesis device. Now, there was also one of these in Deep Space Nine as well, the space stations, which I think was part of the, the command post, was it, for the Dominion War? So it's a research station, active, this one, the Regula 1 at least, anyway. So we'll ignore all other idiotic versions, the original version, so we say, which wasn't exactly like this. There was more of these pods on the end of it, which is like people pods. There's a telescope there, which is like, maybe you want to do that if you're in deep space. So specifications: Project Genesis, Mutara sector, Dr. Carol Marcus. Looks like we go into the base for the stand there. Okay. I'll assume that this isn't lit. If it is lit, then I'll be really impressed that they've done that much lighting effects on here, but it won't be. This is a shame, really. Some of these could really do with being lit up. Maybe it's a project for the future that I can do. Right, Space Laboratory Regula 1. My all-time favourite film, and a lot of people's, has got to be Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Mainly because it was people we knew, it was situation we knew, and it was so much new stuff that came along. Like the station, like the Reliant. And it was kind of similar to Star Trek 3. I love Star Trek 3 because you had the Excelsior, you had Space Dock, you had the Grissom, you had the Klingon Bird of Prey. It was like... It was like new Trek, but with all the old. Cool. Okay. Do we not see this part? I'll assume this is part of the motion picture. This is the Andrew Probert. And design the complex. Yes, officers complex for that. So basically, you ignore the upside down bit, but you've got circle there. Possibly missing this part here. And definitely missing this part here. But that bit isn't that, because this circle bit here is over here. Yeah, it is basically just upside down command headquarters, which is nice that they redid the model. Bit odd that it took us so long to figure out exactly what it was. I'm sure people back in the 80s did figure this one out very quickly. Still a nice model to actually have. Cool. And the effects shots from Star Trek 2 compared to Star Trek 1 were a massive leap. A ridiculous leap on them. mean, I have one of these models, not the original, obviously. I mean, I do not have a lot of money, and I do not have a lot of connections, but I have the Polar Lights one I made myself, the refit, and it's my favourite Enterprise. But what makes me laugh is they make a ship, and this is it. Just for this scene here, you're not going to see the nacelles, you're not going to see the source section, you're just going to see this section here, and that's all the action is. And it baffles me how somebody can make a model like that just for that section. I can't. I have to make the full model kit yourself. Reliant layer being painted on. They use that model so many times. It was Saratoga in Star Trek 4. It was the Saratoga in what was it? It was in the Emissary episode as well. They changed the bar on the top and the altered bits and bats and changed the registry numbers and stuff. It's same as the Enterprise. The Excelsior model was that the same one as the Enterprise B or the Lakota? It was all redo certain ones, which is nice they did, but it would be nice to see actual proper models running around that are exactly what they are. Nice matte painting there of inside the Genesis cave, where they all are there. Coming out of Chekhov's ear. Yeah, it was part of a washing line with pegs. Okay, it didn't look real, but there's nothing you could do about that. It was effect shots in the 80s. The CGI, the living hell out of it nowadays. Oh, that's a nice shot. You got the Nebula section behind it, and the Enterprise Constitution refit on its side for effect shots. Very, very nice. Genesis effect. Wasn't Genesis the actual effect part the first ever time we saw a CGI sequence on screen? Could be wrong, but I'm probably right. If you want to read the book yourself, go out and buy it. If you want to read it properly, try and freeze frame on the pictures. You're not guaranteed you're going to see all the text anyway, but yeah, it's just these aren't to get rid of Eaglemoss selling this stuff. These are just basically to showcase to you what these are. So, and the reason why I say this is something different. This is the first time we've seen that, because the Eaglemoss is changing next year in 2021. Yes, we've had ships from Voyager, Next Gen, DS9 and Enterprise and Discovery, but there is their own set, which they are stopping doing Discovery, and I think they're putting it together with Picard and any other stuff that they do for 2021. So they're going to be doing more ships, but on a specific different type of. I know they're doing the online stuff, which I'm trying to cover as best as I can. The Discovery I will get back up to date with and get fully bought eventually. They're even putting a Hero Collector on, which they didn't really do very often. But we won't get around to the Discoveries eventually. That will be fine. But there will be Picard series ships, which I haven't seen many of. Apart from Riker's ship, Picard's... Oh, I forgot the guy's name. Oh, ferries Picard around. There's all the holograms. It's really funny with all the holograms of himself. But if we're doing more ships from that, even the actual one I'm looking forward to is the retro Romulan Bird of Prey, which might be nice, might be absolutely diabolical, I don't know. But on screen it did look like, we know what it looks like, but this is from 1966, from Series 1, or 67 from Series 1. But we'll see what happens. Right, we've got a stand on here, which is a loop, which goes in, yada yada yada, it doesn't spin round and sits on it. Number, Regula 1, 0695A/A, first run, which is nice. So let me get rid of the box. And let's have a look at this without my finger. Right, okay, with it being colder in the garage now, it feels like the die cast is right on the top, all this section on here. So let me have a look and see if I can zoom in for you so you can see a lot more. And I can look back in the in the future and think, ooh, that was really crummy camera work. Sorry, I'm waffling again. I mean, a lot of this you don't really recognise. The artwork, the parts, the pods. And God only knows what they actually used to use for this. I mean, I never realised it was actually two... Is it a shuttle bay? Is it as a docking port? I don't know. A little bit of overspray on the X there in the middle. I mean, this is no Deep Space Nine station, but you can tell the similarities between the centre promenade on this, as well as, well, for this as well. Anyway, it's a different scale. And you've got this really weird, which this part right here does remind me of a K7 station. It's K9, K7. Yeah, K9 was Doctor Who. But then you've got this big antenna. It's like you've done 23rd century or late 23rd century on the rest of it, and you've done middle 23rd century, which is nice. It's a good nod between both of them. It's like it could have been upgraded over the years and there was no need to do this part. Don't mind at all. So you come down to these habitat rings, so shall we say. Oh, look at that there. That's nice. And you come round, opposite corner, same again, little one. I mean, this could have been like a penthouse suite. These could have been extra part, maybe like a dozen people slept in here. This could be the commander. It's only possible landing, a docking port there. If you look on the opposite corner, exactly the same, except for the telescope. So these would have been possibly interchangeable parts that you could make your station what you needed it to be. It's very strange how in the 23rd century you'd use an optical telescope, unless it is a sensor scope or whatever they would use in the future. I don't know. And then you have here, this looks like a massive windows, but I don't think they are, because they would be stupidly huge. It's like thrusters on the bottom there. The green accent is quite good actually around the black windows. Very nice. And then you have this bit bolted onto the bottom. Brown and tan. Look like, I'd say fuel rods or something. Fuel tanks. Why would he use fuel tanks in the 23rd century? I don't know. I don't live there. Yeah, this is really quite interesting and quite nice. Maybe these are labs. I probably guess that these are probably the labs as well, but for a large scale model, which this should be, it's not bad. I would have expected it being a lot bigger, because the size of it is just over standard Eaglemoss size, which is usually about the size of my hand. It's either usually width or length. It's kind of both, apart from the little antenna on the end, which is smaller than what you'd class other ships in this line with, I think. Without digging anything out from the loft, then it's kind of, it feels to me smaller. Not that it's not good, I do like this a lot, and the reason why I've turned this round this way is because it was the same model as the command, what do you call it? Yeah, the command station for when Kirk and Scotty flew from here to the Enterprise in Starship 1. There was, like I said, there's more pods on here to make it bolt out even more. But it just makes you wonder why they didn't do Regula 1 as that. Less pods, but do it that way around, instead of having it that way around to make us think like there's a different station. I suppose I could ask Nick Myers. Well, I'm sure he's not going to be taking my calls. Or any of the effects shot people. See in there, there's a docking port in there. There, which doesn't seem to be that easy to fly around this habitat area, or lab area. But still, it's a really nice model. It's a really nice kit. There's a die cast on the top. It's like plastic, everything else. But as we said many times before on these, you can't get the detail on a die-cast, especially these are supposed to be die-cast models. You can't get the detail on a die-cast as much as you can for a plastic. All the little detailed lines, there's no way in hell you can do it. I know which number this one is. Before, I've probably already put this in the description anyway, but this is special number 24. We've got one coming out soon, which is probably in the next month after, which is the Sonar Collector. I'm not really looking forward to that, because it kind of looks a bit odd. In the episode, it was kind of blown up. It was there and bang. I don't know, it was just I'm not really bothered about that one, but we'll get that one for you guys and show you as soon as it turns up. Yeah, so there we go. Space Station Regula 1. Come in, please. Yeah, not bad. Really good for the collection. If you're collecting all the space stations, a DS9 and a Space Dock, even if you're going for the Discovery stuff where you've got Earth Base, Starbase 1, or whatever else that they're kicking out, then it's quite a nice little side collection other than the Starships. We even have the K7 station, which is really nice. There's not many other stations we ever saw in Star Trek. I'm not quite sure how many others we could do. But whether or not Eaglemoss continue with these is for next year. They've already announced that they are doing something big for Star Trek next year. Whether or not it's just, we're doing Picard. We're integrating all of these extra bits into one. So once a month you might get a Picard or a Discovery or a Lower Decks. Lower Decks would be quite interesting. The animated series, I actually really enjoyed it. It had so much Trek in the series. It was quite ridiculous that there were nods to things I had to look up myself. And I kind of think myself as a really big sci-fi Trekkie nerd. In a sense, one line in it was, about the giant-sized Spock. And I'm like, when was Spock giant-sized? But it was in the animated series. So they nodded to that one. They nodded to the Gatekeeper. They nodded to the Guardian forever. They nodded to so many different people. Even, wasn't one of the traders from Next Generation? It's ridiculous the amount of nods that series did for all of the Star Trek series, and especially with the Miles O'Brien statue. That was really funny. So if you haven't seen Lower Decks, go see them. Go download it. Go subscribe to, and buy the DVD. It's a really good series. Once you get over the idea that it's not serious Trek, it's a good laugh, but has so many nods to the original series as every one of them. So with that in mind, without me waffling on even more, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, go buy stuff from Eaglemoss if you want. If you don't, I am not got any sort of affiliation with Eaglemoss, unfortunately. Been doing this for quite a while and still no thank you very much from them, which would have been nice. But yeah, they're good, great models anyway. So thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.